Good afternoon, you all. It's 12:53 on this day. Okay, December 14th. I'm going home to get me something to eat. I'm starving. But listen, you all, I wanted to come talk to you all about something. And I'm just being authentic. I'm going to be real. I'm going to be raw. Okay? Be honest with you all. I feel like y'all my family. I feel like I could be honest with family. Y'all won't judge me. But look, I don't care. But listen, you have to say no. Yep, say no to temptations. I'm telling you all. One thing about walking a narrow path and, when you're trying to do right and live right, there are going to be all kinds of temptations to come. And when I say temptations, I'm talking about those things that we all struggle with. We all struggle with something different. We all have our own vices. We all have our own, because I don't come to you in the spirit of what that thing called? In the spirit of holier than thou, or think I got everything together, because I don't. I have my own struggles. I deal with my own things. Okay. So one thing about the enemy in your flesh, right? The devil's not going to bring things that you're not struggling with. He's not going to tempt you with things that you don't struggle with. Let me say that. He is going to tempt you with those things that you struggle with, those things that you had to fight in the past. And as soon as as soon as it seems like you have overcome those things, and right before your breakthrough, he's going to bring those things back up. He's going to send people. And I'm laughing because when you're awake, you can see it. Okay, when you've done the work, when you're going through your journey, when you're on your healing journey, you can see all of the tactics and all of the traps that the enemy tries to throw and distract you with, right? And I'm gonna be honest, a lot of this stuff is tempting too. Okay, look, a lot of these things are tempting, but I want to let you know, the minute, okay, let me tell you, when you're on this narrow path and when you're on your spiritual journey, the minute that you give in, okay, I'm gonna say that, the minute that you give in to the temptation is when you're going to have to start all over. I'm telling you, the minute that you give into that temptation, you have to start all the way back over. Okay, all that praying you did, all that fasting, all that denouncing and renouncing, all of that sitting in silence, all of that saying no, everything that you worked hard to do, you have to start over. So you got to ask yourself, is it worth it? I ask myself that. Look, I'm gonna be honest. I ask myself, is it worth it? Okay, is the temptation worth you starting over? Is it worth you going back to a place that God delivered you from? Is it worth it? And I told myself it ain't worth it. I don't did too much. Look, I've did too much work. Okay, it is not worth it. Okay, it is not worth it. So I just want to come share that with you all. You got to know if it's worth it or if it's not worth it. Because the enemy always going to, your flesh is very tricky, right? Especially when in your mind you set to do what's right. Right? You want to do what's right. And I know what the world says, right? I know what the world says. You do what you want to do when you want to do and have no self-control. Okay? That's your body, your choice, all of that craziness. But when you're on a spiritual journey and when you're trying to do what's right, when you're on a narrow path. Now, I'm not saying you're not going to ever make mistakes, right? I'm not saying that, because when I tell you, it is tempting. I'm not going to lie. But you got to understand that all of the work that you've done, right? All of the work that you've done, right? You have to ask yourself, is it worth it? You've done a lot of work. Is the temptation worth it? Is what tempts you worth it? Whatever that is, whatever vice that is. Thank you for messing for your struggle is, okay? And Having self-control is a powerful thing. A lot of people don't have self-control. A lot of people can't control themselves. They can't control, their mind. They can't tell themselves no. They can't bring their flesh under submission. And I know some people say it's a natural thing, and it is, but you don't want to open yourself up to the struggles, okay, that come with submitting to your fleshly desires. You don't want to open yourself up to different attacks spiritually because you've opened yourself up to your different desires and wants in your flesh, okay? So you have to fight that thing. You have to fight it until you bring that thing under submission. Let me just say that. I've been here, Aaron. I've been here. You have to bring that, you have to bring that desire under submission, okay? Because there's a lot of temptations, and some of these spirits very persistent too. They're very persistent, like, because the enemy know what you want and know what you struggle with, okay? He'll send those desires. If it's drugs, if it's what it is, spending habits, if it's, your romantic desires, if it's money, whatever your vice is, he's going to send that thing to try to, cause you to revert back to the beginning. Let me just say that. To revert back to the beginning. He's going to send those things. And you just have to be careful, right? You just have to be careful. You have to realize what is taking place, and you have to be aware of it, right? That's what I tell myself. Girl, listen. I'm like, listen, you got to deny that, okay? Look, I'm like, listen, you got to deny that. I want to come talk to you all about making sure that you have to, when you're on that narrow path, you have to say no. Okay? Tell yourself no, tell your flesh no, tell your desires no, tell your mind no. Ask yourself, where is this going? Where is this leading? Is this good? You have to ask yourself questions. Because sometimes we get in our emotions, we get in our flesh. We entertain things that we shouldn't be entertaining. Okay? Listen. You entertain things you shouldn't be entertaining. You just have to say no. Right? Say no. And sometimes people don't like to hear that word, no. They don't understand polite no, a kind no, a genuine letdown, a polite letdown. So you just got to fight. It's almost like fighting temptations. The group fighting temptations, you got to fight them temptations. Listen, you really got to fight them temptations, because they fly and they pop up out of nowhere. As soon as you think you're on the right path and you're doing good, there goes those temptations. And you like, I thought I would pass this. I thought I was done. It's like, look, you sitting there thinking you straight, thinking you good, and here you go. The enemy trying to suck you in the vacuum. And you're like, I thought I was past that. And the enemy like, you're not past that. You think you are. And then you back in that cycle again. So you all be blessed. I just wanted to come share that with you all. Got to fight them temptations. Say no. I know it's hard. It's very hard. Okay? It is hard. So you just have to, deny that flesh. Tell that flesh no. Exactly. I believe so. That's why we got to keep fighting. When we're still struggling in that area, that means there's a lot of work to do. I know I still got a lot of work to do. I got a lot of healing to do, a lot of, soul ties to break, spirits to, I got work to do. If I got some work to do, and it's not easy, it's not easy. God knows it's not. You just have to keep fighting, regardless of how much I come encourage you all. I still have my struggles. Okay. That's why that's why I tell people, don't idolize people on the internet. Because a lot of people get on the internet and be, pretending and trying to appear to be this and that and the other. I just don't believe in doing that, because we are in a real body. Okay. We are human. We are in a flesh. Okay. And not in the world. You're not. See, the enemy knows how to get us with the same thing from the beginning. The lust of the eyes. Okay. Listen, the lust of the eyes. Okay. Like, it's a lot of, you got to really unalive. I don't want to say the word. You really got to unalive that flesh part. Right? Really unalive that flesh part, because if you don't, you pick up in the, you're very intense in your emotions. You can't be watching certain things. The enemy knows that too. So you got to know yourself. You got to learn yourself enough to know what situations to put yourself in and what situations you don't put what situations to put yourself in and what situations you don't put yourself in. What things to ignore. So look, that's another story right there. Look, that's another story. And people don't believe that, but he's alive and well. Alive and well in those dreams. Look, he's alive and well in them dreams, okay? But if you're not aware of that, you're going to fall to the trap. Get up and pray and counsel, different agreements and stuff. You'll be tempted. You'll be going through your day, minding your business, and things will be happening to you, and you don't know why. That's why I say you have to do the work on you. Tell that flesh no, okay? You got to tell the flesh no, because look, I send people portions and measurements and stuff. He's not going to send the Tony Gaskins always say, he's not going to send the looks challenged people, okay? He's not going to send the looks challenged people. He's not going to send the look deprived and the fit deprived folks. Now he's going to send them ones that are fit, okay? He's going to send the nice looking ones. Look, he's going to send the nice looking ones, right? He ain't going to send them ones that, because I don't care what people say, folks like their eyes got to see a certain thing. You got to be a very spiritual person to look past that flesh and to really judge a person by their heart. That's how so many people get caught up, because they're always looking on the surface. No, you got to ask God to show you the spirit of folks, because anything could look good on the outside. But what is the spirit like? Like my coach, Latoya O'Keel, say, what that spirit do. You got to focus on what that spirit do. Because some people are just filled with lust and perversion. And I don't know about you all, but when a person is filled with that, I can feel it. I can feel when a person is very lustful. Like, it's like it transfers, okay? You got to be careful with that spirit. Those spirits could transfer to you. I'm being honest. They could transfer. Like, you wonder why you're battling with certain things that you haven't battled with. That's because you talking to that person. You hug that person. Them spirits can transfer. Yep. I remember one time, I'm not going to say the time frame because I don't know who's watching this video, but I remember one time, I had, and I'm going to say this too. I'm going to say it so y'all know how serious this thing is. God showed me. I remember one time that, these good people, they used to be, they were my neighbors, they're older, and, real nice people. I mean, just nice, wholesome folks, right? And I love the husband and the wife. Okay, the husband and the wife, really talk to the wife because I don't like dealing with nobody, husband like that. But it was like a, older couple, very friendly, very kind. I saw them in passing a little while ago. And, I hugged the, wife and hugged the husband. I'm not gonna lie. I felt that spirit of lust. I said, no, I can't touch him no more. I can't hug. Cause you just being friendly and family oriented. I'm Southern. So I don't think anything of that. I wasn't thinking anything in that mindset. That wasn't even far from me. Cause I'm like, no, these good people. Nothing like that. But that spirit of lust jumped clean on me. Look, jumped clean on me. Off him. Lusting. And I was like, that man's lusting. And his wife, right? I'm like, I had to go rebuke that spirit. Look, I had to go rebuke that spirit. I'm like, you know what? This is a transfer of spirit. Wasn't dealing with that. I didn't have that type of battle. I didn't have that. That wasn't on my mind. I'm being honest. It wasn't on my mind or anything like that. That's how I know you got to be careful who you touch, who you let touch you. Fist bump or something. Do a fist bump. But when you're Southern, that's just the way we do things. We hug a lot, and where I come from and how I grew up, that's part of, that's just part of the culture. But you got to be careful with that, right? You got to be careful with that because these spirits are real. Y'all know what folks doing behind closed doors. I said, this joker straight lust and got a lustful spirit, and that thing don't slid off on him. I was like, the devil is a lie. I had to rebuke that. I had to rebuke that. And I was walking away. And I was walking away, and Holy Spirit, like, that was a spirit of lust. You can be letting people hug and touch on you, and it was just a quick, embrace. It wasn't a long, like, type. Yep. But in folks' mind, they already doing stuff, undressing you, all doing all kind of little stuff, and they little perverted heads. But I gotta go, you all. You all be blessed. Just be careful. Fight them temptations. Repent. Okay, repent, and so I gotta go. Be blessed.